Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about equity derivatives NISM module, and these are the topics that we are going to cover. So let's start by understanding a simple case scenario. So you need gold 1 year from now. The current price of the gold, let's say, is $100. Now you have three options to fulfill your requirement. You can buy the gold today by paying the $100 and use it after 1 year. But the problem with this approach is you immediately have to shell out $100, but you don't need the gold today. You can do one more thing. You can buy it at the end of the year when you actually have a use of it, but you don't know what will be the price of the gold after 1 year. So there is a price risk. You don't know the price. Alternatively, the third way, you can enter into an agreement with, let us say, somebody who is selling the gold. You can say that you will purchase the gold from him after 1 year, but you're going to fix the price today at $100. So you're going to lock in the price today, enter into the contract to buy gold at the end of the year, and you're going to make the payment later on. So out of these three choices, the third method proves to be reasonably sensible and logical. So when somebody is buying any particular asset in, let's say, the stock market or the financial market, he has a feeling that this particular asset will go up and then he'll be able to sell it to earn a profit. So let's say you're buying something today for 100, it goes up to 120, 150, 200, you will be able to sell it and then you can make a profit. Shorting means you are going to sell something today and then buy something later on. You will short a particular financial asset when you feel that the value of that particular asset is going to decline. So let's say today you are going to sell something at 100. Tomorrow the price of that particular asset comes down to 80, 70, 60 or even 10. You will be able to buy it back. So let's say I'm selling at 100 today, buying it back at 10. So I'm making a profit of 90. So you're going to sell first and then buy later on. But can you sell what you don't have? So let's say you have a feeling that a particular stock that is trading in the National Stock Exchange or the Bombay Stock Exchange, let's say Adani Power, Adani Green, etc., it is going to come down. But you don't have Adani in your portfolio, so you will not be able to sell it. So what will you do in such a scenario? That we are going to learn today. Now, the one thing that you need to remember in derivatives or in any financial transaction is for a transaction to happen, we need people with different opinion. So if one person is buying, he has a feeling that the price will go up. And if the other person is selling, he has a feeling that the price is going to come down. Now, this is applicable in general, but for derivatives in particular, you need to keep this in mind. A transaction can only happen between two individuals if they are having different opinions. If both A and B feel that the price of the asset is going to go up, both will want to buy that particular asset. Nobody will be there to sell, so the transaction cannot happen. So let's start with a forward contract. Now let's say we have a wholesaler and a farmer, and they have an agreement to buy and sell 1000 kgs of apple. 50 rupees is a price per kg, and multiply by 1000 gives us a value of 50,000. So the contract between the wholesaler and the farmer is for 1000 kg apples, and the price of this particular contract is 50,000 rupees. This is going to be settled after 30 days. That means after 30 days, the farmer is actually going to deliver these 1000 kg apples to the wholesaler. Now, this is known as a physical delivery because the underlying means the apples are going to be exchanged between the two parties. The farmer is going to sell or deliver the apples to the wholesaler, and he will deliver it to the wholesaler's warehouse. Now, this particular contract, the transaction is going to happen on a later date, so it is known as a forward contract. It's a bilateral agreement. That means this is a contract between two different parties. Now, all the terms in this particular contract, the price, the quantity, the quality, where the delivery is going to happen, how the payment is going to be made, everything is going to be fixed on the day when these two parties are entering into the contract. So these are customized contracts, and these are known as OTC or over the counter contracts. This contract can be altered if both parties agree to whatever they want to change. So let's say they want to make the 1000 kg apples as 1100 or 1200, that is possible. If they want to settle after 25 days, then that can happen. The price is fixed beforehand, and the objective of this particular contract is to avoid price risk. Now, we don't know what will be the price of the apples after 30 days, so we want to avoid this particular price risk. So, that is why they are setting the price today. So, the objective of this contract is to avoid the price risk. The same example, the gold example that I gave you first, you are entering into the contract to buy some gold for $100, so you are eliminating the price risk because you are fixing the price. The buyer of the particular underlying is known as the long. So because this wholesaler is wanting to buy these apples, he is known as the long. And because the farmer is going to sell the apples, he is known as the short. Now these are just some fancy terms that you need to remember. Now short means somebody who is selling the underlying, long means somebody who is buying the underlying. Now, when these two people are entering into the contract, they are not paying any money to each other. So, zero payment at initiation. All the payments will happen at settlement. So, after 30 days, when the farmer is going to deliver the 1000 kg apples, the wholesaler will pay him the 50,000 rupees. These are some basic features of this forward contract. Now, what are the risks associated in this particular contract? So first is the liquidity risk. Now you cannot transfer this particular contract or you cannot sell this contract to somebody else. Now you are the buyer, you're going to remain the buyer. You cannot ask somebody else to be the buyer and you cannot exit this particular contract. Also because this contract is not sellable or tradable in the open market, you are not able to exit your position. So you cannot transfer or trade the contract to somebody else unless and until the counterparty agrees to it. So let's say instead of wholesaler A, wholesaler B wants to take his position. If the farmer agrees, then instead of wholesaler A, wholesaler B can come into the picture. Now there is something known as a price risk. Now, let's say the contract is entered by these parties on January 1st and this contract will be settled on January 30. On January 1st, when they are entering into the contract, they are fixing the price as 50. But on January 30th, when this contract is going to be settled, we don't know what will be the price of this particular apple in the open market. Now, in the contract, it is going to be 50, but what is the price in the open market? We don't know that. Now, the open market price is also known as spot price. So, open market price is also known as spot price or spot market price. I'll give you an example. So both of them have agreed to make this transaction of 1000 kg apples at a price of 50. For them, the price is not going to change. But then still on January 30th, let's say the price of the apples is actually 55 in the open market. Now for the buyer, for the wholesaler, if this contract did not exist, he has to go to the open market in order to buy the 1000 kg apples and he would have to pay a price of 55. Now, under this contract, he's paying 50. If this contract did not exist, he would have gone to the open market to buy the apples. He would have gone to the spot market to buy the apples and he would have paid 55. But now he's actually paying only 50. So, in short, you are buying something for 50 when the actual price is 55. So, you are making a profit of 5 rupees per kg multiply by 1000 rupees per multiply by 1000 kg. So you're making a total profit of 5000 under this contract. Now let's talk about this from the seller's or the farmer's perspective. The farmer has to compulsorily sell the apples for 50. If this contract did not exist for him, he would have been able to sell this particular 1000 kg apples in the open market and he would have got 55. But he is not able to do it because he is obliged under the contract. So for him, because he is a part of this contract and he has to fulfill whatever he has promised, he's actually facing a loss of 5. Why loss of 5? Under the contract, he has to deliver it under 50. But if this contract did not exist, he could have sold it at 55. So in short, he's selling something for 50 when the actual price is 55. So he's facing a loss of 5 per kg multiplied by 1000 kg. So he's going to face a total loss of 5000. So whatever is the profit earned by the wholesaler under this particular contract will be the loss for the farmer. So to give you another example, let's say instead of 55, I'll write it over here. The price on January 30 is 40. So this is the spot price. So think about it from the buyer's perspective. from the wholesaler's perspective or from the long perspective. He has to compulsorily pay 50 in order to purchase the apples. But the actual price is only 40. If this contract did not exist, he could have bought the apples at 40. But he now has to compulsorily buy them for 50. So he's paying 10 rupees more, or let's say he is facing a loss of 10. Multiply by 1000 kg, he is going to face a total loss of 10,000 under this particular contract. For the short or the farmer, he is able to sell the apples for 50, but the price on 30th of Jan is only 40. He is able to get 50 for something that is having a value of 40. So in short, he is making a profit of 10 per kg, multiply by 1000. He is making a profit of 10,000. So in this case, if the long is losing money, the farmer is actually gaining money. So this is the price risk. The agreed upon price 50 is different than the market price at settlement, which could be any price other than 50. So either it can be greater than 50 or it can be less than 50 as well. So in short, it can be something which is different than 50. If that happens, there is a price risk. Moving on, the counterparty risk. Now we know that this contract is an OTC contract or it's a customized contract. So let's say at the end of the month on 30th of January, something bad happens and the farmer is not able to supply the 1000 kg apples. Let's say his crop is destroyed or the apples have rotten, or then some natural calamity happened due to which he is losing the entire apples that he had stored. So the farmer will not be able to deliver the apples to the wholesaler. So in short, he has defaulted. So if the counterparty is defaulting, then the long is facing a risk. So if the farmer is defaulting, the risk is faced by the wholesaler. So this is the counterparty risk. The counterparty can default on his obligation upon settlement. On the other hand, let's say the buyer, the long or the wholesaler is not having any money. Now he needs 50,000 rupees in order to purchase this 1000 kg apples. He is not having this 50,000 rupees to pay the farmer. The farmer is taking the 1000 kg apples to the wholesaler's warehouse, but he is not paying him money. So in short, he has defaulted. If the long is defaulting, the short is facing a risk and he is facing the risk which is known as counterparty risk. We have already seen that one party's gain is equal to other party's loss. If the wholesaler is having a positive value of 5,000 under the contract, the seller will have a loss of 5,000. If he is having a loss of 10,000, then the seller will have a profit of 10,000. So one party's gain is equal to other party's loss. In short, it is a zero sum game. So minus 10,000 plus 10,000, it's a zero. So that's why it's a zero sum game. One party's gain is equal to other party's loss. So this is very similar to a bet. If I am winning 10 rupees, then the other person is losing 10 rupees. The profit and loss potential by both the parties is unlimited. Now, as we know, the price of apples on 30th of January can be anything different than 50. So let's say there is a shortage of apple and the price goes up to 500. So that is also possible. In this particular case, the wholesaler is able to buy 1000 kg apples at 50 when the actual market price is 500. So he is facing a profit of 450 per kg multiplied by 1000. That means he's earning a total profit of 4.5 lakhs and he's actually losing 4.5 lakhs. So even this scenario could be possible. So that is why the profit and loss potential is unlimited. Alternatively, the price of the apple can even come down. So let's say nobody starts eating apples. There's a lot of supply of apples. Nobody is ready to buy and the price is 5 per kg. So in short, over here, he is going to lose 45 rupees per kg or 45,000 in total. And he is going to earn 45,000 in total. So either of these scenarios is possible. So the profit and loss potential for both the parties is unlimited.